It's no secret that I put out a lot of free content online, and I have done since I very first started my business back in 2015, whether it's on my business blog, my podcast, which is called the Freelance Fix Podcast, by the way, if you didn't know, my YouTube channel, my social media. I'm always sharing information and education on all of these channels and being really generous with my free content. But one thing that I get asked quite a lot is, how do I decide what to make free content, what to put as a lead magnet or a freebie that people can get in exchange for giving me their email addresses, and what I actually keep in reserve for creating my digital products and my courses or actually working with clients. And I'm going to cover all of this in today's video. Hi, if you are new here, my name is Anna. I am a designer and online educator at byrosanna.co.uk, and here on YouTube I share content all about business, marketing, productivity, tech tutorials, you name it. So if you like that kind of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up while you're there. So when it comes to deciding what content you create should be free versus paid, I like to think of it as a kind of funnel. So at the top of the funnel, you've got things like blog posts. I'm just going to be calling them blog posts in the purposes of this video, but you've also got things like podcast episodes or YouTube videos and things like that. Long form, valuable content, but that is free and easily accessible. No one has to sign up for anything. They can just read it on your website or listen to it whenever they want. Then as you move down the funnel, you've next got the kind of freebies that you can create, or otherwise known as lead magnets or opt-in incentives. These are pieces of content that you deliver to people after they've signed up to your email list, using their email address, actually giving you something in return for this piece of content. But it's just their email address, it's technically not paying you anything, but they are giving you something in exchange for it. And so of course that needs to be slightly higher value than your blog posts or your podcast episodes. So that's the top of the funnel, and then obviously in the middle of the funnel you've got the point at which people start paying for your content, and then it goes down into a funnel beneath that where you've got your paid products or paid services, and I'm going to talk you through the 3 different types of those later on as well. So when it comes to blog posts, I like to think of it as explaining what the what of a topic is and potentially the why as well, and just providing information rather than actual actionable steps at this point. So in this article, it is called 10 Tips for Improving Your Email Open Rate. And you might be thinking, okay, you're giving away some how steps in improving your email open rates and making them get opened. But what I'm actually doing here is just explaining the what of each of these steps, and I'm not explaining the how you actually do these steps. So for example, tip number 1 is be consistent when you send emails, or number 2 is regularly cleanse your list. I'm not actually telling people how to cleanse your list, but I'm telling them what the step is, which is cleansing your list, and why it's important that you do that. When it comes to the how of this information, I have then actually got a promo at the bottom of the blog post for my paid product, which teaches you the step-by-step tutorials on how to actually do those things. Let's move on to thinking about the freebie or the lead magnet of what you're actually going to give people once they sign up to your email newsletter list now. So here is an example of a freebie that I have on my website. It is my Creating Your Target Customer Profile, and I provide a free CV template that people can edit in Canva or in Photoshop, so that it gives you a little kind of CV one-sheet document of who your target customer is. So you'll see that this freebie is actually hosted on a blog post, and within the blog post I'm talking about why customer profiling is so important and what it actually is. And the freebie is giving them this template so that they can do it themselves. Now, because it's a template that they can literally easily download and start editing straight away, this is what I like to call a quick actionable win. And this is ideally what you want to be providing in all of your freebies or your lead magnets, rather than just writing a PDF that could technically be a blog post where you're just talking about something, you're talking about the what and the why, and you're saving the how for your paid product. That's not really super valuable. They could just get that information in a blog post. What you really want to be giving people inside a freebie is something that they can do themselves really quickly as an actionable tip or an actionable process that they can put into action right then and there once they've downloaded it, and they get a quick win. And what this quick win does is it shows people that, okay, this person who has given me this freebie is actually delivering a lot of value, and I've got a lot of value out of just this one small template or this one small thing. So imagine what this person might give me in their paid products or their paid services. Giving someone a quick win that they can put into action straight away is much better than giving them a load of information that they're going to need to go away and digest later on. So definitely make it something that people could do or take action on within an hour or so of actually receiving your freebie in the first place. Okay, so now we're getting into the paid section of the funnel once it starts opening up again. And you'll notice in this freebie example that I just showed you, as we keep scrolling down, you also have a promotion for my paid product, which is a 60-minute masterclass with a downloadable PDF, which takes people through the exact step-by-step process and the how of customer profiling. So I gave away the what and the why in this blog post. In the freebie, I'm giving them a quick actionable template or something just small taken from this paid product that gives them a quick win. And then in the paid product itself, I'm actually going into much more depth, giving them all the detailed steps and the how of what this topic is. And just as a side note, I wouldn't actually recommend having all these call to actions in one blog post. I just haven't edited it recently. But what I actually have is someone will sign up to download this template, and then they'll receive an email from me after they've downloaded the template and had some time to work on it, saying, okay, do you want to go deeper? Here's a link to my paid product showing you how to do all this as well. So that's just a side note. I usually suggest just keeping the freebie on the blog post and not the paid product as well, but it's up to you how you do it. So just talking about these paid products, it doesn't just kind of stop there with offering the how to someone. I like to think of there being 3 different types of paid products. One is a DIY product. Now this is kind of like an online course or some kind of ebook or educational material like that masterclass that I just showed you, allowing the person to learn how to do something and implementing it themselves because they are DIYing it. So there's the DIY product, which is usually at a lower price point. We've then got something called a done with you product, and this is potentially an online course or some kind of group program or something like that that has the additional benefit of some accountability to go with it. So if I wanted to create a done with you version of my Understanding Your Ideal Customer Masterclass, what I might do is offer a 30-minute consultation or a 30-minute check-in with someone once they've completed this masterclass, just to get feedback or throw ideas off each other as a way of keeping them accountable and making sure they actually do it. Another way you can add accountability into a done with you service or product is by creating some kind of group or community, so that you've got that added kind of peer pressure of accountability as well, making sure that you actually do the work. Or depending on what your product and service is, you could just split it up and say, okay, you do this part, you do the kind of background work, the homework, and then I'm going to take it over from there and finish it off. But that's the second step in the paid product kind of levels there. And then the final step is, of course, a done for you service. So this is a more traditional kind of one-to-one client work situation where the customer is paying you to do the whole thing for them. So for example, I offer brand and website design services, and these are one-to-one done for you services. I take their information and I just go with it and create the website myself. If, for example, website design was a done with you product with the accountability, the way that would look would be some kind of an online course or program which takes people through the how-to steps of designing their own website, but then with some kind of check-ins or review process of me actually looking at their websites and giving them feedback and helping them through the DIY process. Then if I was to create a DIY version of my website design service, I would probably be looking at creating an online course on how to create your own website. So you can see how there are these different levels of paid products that you have. So to recap, we have your free pieces of content like blog posts, podcast episodes, YouTube videos, which explain the what and potentially the why of something. And then we've got the freebies or the lead magnets, which give people more of an actionable step that they can take themselves, or some kind of quick win that is relevant to a paid product, hopefully. And then in the paid product section, we've got the DIY product, which usually is just the how-to, the in-depth step-by-step tutorials that people can take away and learn and put into action themselves. We've then got the done with you step, which includes all of the kind of how-to and tutorials for the person, plus some accountability or review process or some kind of feedback so that you are helping them through that learning process yourself. And then the done for you type of product or service at the end is, of course, where you are just doing it for them. It's more of a service. They really don't have to spend any time learning how to do what you're trying to accomplish. It's all done for them. So I hope this was helpful in getting clear on what all of the different types of content and paid products and free products are. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week for some more content.